Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I am here with Victor, one of the vendors at the San Diego County Orchid Society show and sale. He has got some really cool orchids, and I want to talk about them with him. So, here we go.
Plants. We have this tiny little one, which is a very cute little miniature species from Ecuador. This is Pleurotalis picta. We have some other ones from Brazil, like this little one, Triadella sabrina. You see how tiny the flowers are, but they're very cute.
That's a really
Triadella
cool
sabrina
one. Yeah.
from Australia. Southern Dormitory side.
Oh, that's cool.
Very
I love
nice
the
little
red
plant.
coloration in the leaves.
They are very easy to grow. They don't require a lot of maintenance. You can let them dry in between waterings. I would say water them maybe like 3 times a week, and that's all they need. Very nice little flowers. I like them because of the way they grow, because of the grow habit, the shape of the leaves and everything. Not much because of the flowers, although the flowers are very cute. But you know, we have. Let me see. Why don't we talk about tillandsias? This is Tillandsia sprangeliana from Brazil. It's a very nice little tillandsia.
Yeah, that is. And not a lot of people know that they bloom, but it's true.
They actually bloom. They bloom, and once they bloom, they send kikis on the side on the side of the plant, and that's how they grow. This is a very rare species from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
It's still it's not very easy to find it for sale.
No, it's
I
not.
actually got only 2 plants, and they're not cheap either. I have them for 85.
Wow.
But as you see, somebody was asking me like how big they need to be to bloom, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. They haven't bloomed, and they're bigger than this other plant, and this is already blooming. So
Yeah.
you never know. I guess it depends more on the care that you give to the plant. Here's another nice little plant, Dendrobium violation from New Guinea.
Wow.
Tiny little flowers,
Yeah.
but they're very colorful, and they actually last very long.
Huh.
They can last for like maybe like 2-3 months on this plant. We have.
I do have some orchids some like a cymbidium orchid that is got the flowers
I
on
do
it.
not have
Little.
any cymbidiums right now. I do have a few at home, but I don't have anything here.
Okay.
The plants that I have, they belong to my personal collection. And just maybe like 3-4 different species. I don't have a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
Just because they take too much space.
Yeah, and I can see
And
how
so
that
I
would
grow
be.
a lot of
You
miniatures.
grow small ones.
I
and
grow
love
small
the
ones.
Small, I
You know,
love
I
the
can
small
have
ones.
10 in one single little spot instead of having a huge plant.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So that's basically what
I
I
like
do.
this one too. This one's
Yes.
really nice.
Yeah, and the flowers are not. They're already like dying, but still there. I guess they're not gonna last. They're already like getting bad. And so yeah, this is another one. It's a Saripsalis. It's a cactus, even though it doesn't look like. Some people think that it's like a sedum, but it's not a sedum. It's actually a cactus. And here's another very weird Pleurotalis from Brazil. Look at the flower.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's a very strange flower, but it's very cute. They like very bright light.
Yeah.
They like to dry in between the waterings. I grow them outdoors year round in San Diego.
Okay.
Year round.
Do you know what pollinates it?
To be honest, I do not know, but I have a bigger plant. It's always full of seed pods.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they self-pollinate. I don't know if they get
Yeah.
pollinated by some sort of mosquito or something. I have no clue. Because it's so tiny. Even if I want to pollinate the flower myself, I can't even.
No.
I
you
definitely need
wouldn't
to chop
be
the,
able to
the
do-
flower
yeah.
and just to have access to the pollen and the column.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we have a lot
I
of.
love these. I love these little ones in the pots too. These terracotta ones.
We have some leptoris. I forgot to bring my sample plant. I have some plants in bloom, but I forgot to bring them.
Oh wow.
But these are gonna bloom soon. They already have flowers.
Okay.
I would say probably 1 more week.
That would be
the long-
really nice to see how that one
And
turns out.
look at this little one. It's a Pleurotalis orobrancensis.
That's cool.
It's a tiny little miniature from Brazil.
Yeah, I think I have one of those actually.
yes?
It's just starting to come. It's still green, and I got it
Yeah.
last year when I did the terrarium build for the show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that one is really cool, and I love to see the flowers on that one because mine has a flower.
And there are like two different forms. This is the one that stays. The leaves stay like very short and fat, and they have this other form. They're like a little bit longer.
They're almost like succulent
Yes,
leaves.
but you see the difference.
Yeah.
Even at the beginning, I thought they were like different species because they look so different. But they're actually the same species, though.
Same species.
It's just they came from different region, different area.
Oh, okay.
That's why you see the difference from different populations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys came from Brazil.
Okay.
So yeah, even though it's the same species, like you still can see a lot of varieties. It's not always the same.
And I see that you mounting some of them on like branches,
stakes, on
some
branches,
of them
yes, on slabs.
Slabs.
Yeah, some of them pots.
Can you explain a little bit more about how you do that?
Yes. So what happened is like with some of the plants, they prefer to grow on like more. How can I say, like on some of them like this one. Even though this one is tiny, this little plant, it likes to be with a lot of moss.
Okay.
This plant likes to retain like a little bit more moisture compared to some other plants. Like these other plants, even though you see that it's very green, it doesn't have a lot of moss. They like to dry out faster in between the waterings.
Okay.
So so whenever I grow the plants, that's what based on my growing conditions, I have to adapt to the requirements of the plant. And so that's why I decided if they need to go on pots, they need to go on slabs, they need to go on sticks. If they need green moss, which dries a lot faster, or if they want sphagnum moss, which retains a lot more moisture.
Yeah.
So every single plant is different. You just have to play with them. And not because they thrive under my conditions like this, doesn't mean they're gonna grow the same for you.
Yeah.
So if you grow
That's true,
if you live in a place where the climate is a lot more dry, and you grow them outdoors, instead of using green moss, you may want to use sphagnum moss because that one retains more moisture.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different for every single person.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like to follow instructions on, you need to grow this plant like this.
Yeah, I don't
do that.
follow
I never
instructions
do
too,
that because
so
it doesn't work. Something that works for me is not going to work for you. So it is what it is. That's the orchid world.
That's what a lot of
You
people
have to
tell me too. Is
you
that
have to adapt to
whatever
to your conditions.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, not all the plants do the same thing. But yeah, I mean, here we are. We have a lot of things to
That's really nice.
to show you guys. And yeah, this is not an orchid, but it's a very beautiful plant. It belongs to the African violet family, but this is from China.
Oh wow.
They produce a lot of flowers on the maybe like 3-4 inch flower spike with a nice little flower on the tip.
Oh okay.
Very cute, very cute.
Yeah, they do. I like the texture of the leaves too.
Even if you look at this one,
Fuzzy.
this one's already like getting bigger.
Yeah.
And that's how they grow. They're very cute. That's cool.
I love the variety of stuff. You got stuff that's like really tiny, to
Yes.
stuff that's like kind of medium. And all
Yeah.
that.
Even
Just,
if you look at this plant, this is my Dendrobium hecuense. They are in a pot, but they're actually in a little basket with bark.
Oh wow.
And they're doing really good. They're growing really nice. But then I also have the same species mounted on sticks. Let me show you the other ones. Like I said, you always have to change. You can always change the way you grow plants.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like very specific. Like you see, this is exactly the same species, but they're growing on sticks.
Oh wow.
And this one, since they like to dry in between the waterings and they don't like to stay too wet in the winter,
Yeah.
I mix the moss. So it's basically green moss, which retains less moisture.
Okay.
And underneath, I use a little bit of sphagnum moss.
Oh, so a little tiny.
Yeah,
bit
you
of
can always mix the
mixture
moss. Yeah, you
of
can
that.
mix the
Okay.
moss.
That's
If they need to stay very wet, you only use sphagnum moss.
Uh-huh.
Because that one stays wet for a little longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I see that it's growing a little like the moss is growing onto the
it's because
orchid.
it stays too wet.
Okay.
It stays too wet. It's just basically just algae.
Yeah.
It's just algae. You just basically wipe it with something like a little piece of cloth, like wet, and it just
Yeah.
comes off.
All right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then something about these plants is like they're deciduous. They drop the leaves on the newer growths. They drop the leaves, and then I'm sorry, they drop the leaves on the old growths. Old
Okay.
growths, and then this growth is from last year.
Oh wow.
So once the new growths start to come out, the ones from this season, these leaves are gonna drop off. They're gonna die. They're gonna come off the plant.
That's
And they normally bloom. Well, actually, they always bloom from the leafless pteropods.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just like some
I
other
do have an
dendrobiums.
orchid that does
Yeah.
do that. It drops the old leaves.
Yeah. So sometimes people they freak out because they think the plants are gonna die, and it's just their natural cycle, you know.
Some orchids actually do that.
Yeah, this is their natural cycle. It's because like it happens more with orchids that grow in places where they go through a winter period
Yeah.
or like a dry season.
Yeah.
That's what they do because they need to conserve energy. And some other plants for like tropical places, I don't know, like from Ecuador, Peru,
Okay.
where they tend to get a lot of water or at least more rain, like
Yeah.
almost throughout the year. They don't drop the
Yeah.
leaves because they don't have to adapt to save energy or water, like nutrients, because they always have water all year round.
Yeah.
But with plants that go through the winter rest, they have to do it. It's just a way for them to survive.
Yeah.
It's just a
excess
natural
energy and all
it's
that
just-
is going to be
yeah.
wasted if it keeps those
They have to get
leaves.
adapted to their natural environment.
Yeah.
And that's how every single plant, even though if they come from the same genus, they evolve different.
Yeah.
Like just think about it. This is a dendrobium from China, and these are dendrobiums from Australia. And you see how different they are.
Yeah, you do. That's really
So they all have to adapt to their own environment,
yeah.
their own growing conditions and everything. So
That's
everything
cool.
is different.
That's cool. Well, thank you.
Yes,
for
of course.
Being
Thank
able
you.
to talk about this.
Sure.
And your business?
Orquídeas La Cañada.
Okay.
This is basically our first time
Oh,
selling.
that's cool.
It's our first time.
First
so
time for
Yes.
everything. That's amazing.
we don't have a website. We don't have anything yet.
Okay.
It was a last minute decision, and here we are.
Yes. So people on YouTube, make sure to check them out, and I will catch you in the next one.